Imagine this. 6 months from now, you open your mouth and English comes out naturally, no fear. No translating in your head, just clear, confident speaking. And the best part is, you do not need perfect grammar first. You only need one simple habit: shadowing. Shadowing means you listen carefully and speak with the voice at the same time. Little by little, your brain starts copying real English rhythm, real pronunciation, real confidence. So today, do not just watch this video. Speak with me. Copy my voice, follow the pauses, and train your English naturally. Relax your mind. Speak slowly with me. Your 6-month fluency journey starts right now. I was looking for you. I was looking for you. This place feels so quiet today. This place feels so quiet today. Can you say that again? Slowly? Can you say that again? Slowly? I almost forgot about the meeting. I almost forgot about the meeting. That sounds much better now. That sounds much better now. Everybody became silent for a moment. Everybody became silent for a moment. The weather feels different tonight. The weather feels different tonight. I think we are going the wrong way. I think we are going the wrong way. She was smiling the whole time. She was smiling the whole time. Please keep the door open. Please keep the door open. I need a little more time. I need a little more time. That movie was actually interesting. That movie was actually interesting. The lights suddenly turned off. The lights suddenly turned off. Nobody noticed the small mistake. Nobody noticed the small mistake. He always arrives a little early. He always arrives a little early. Everything looks beautiful from here. Everything looks beautiful from here. I can hear someone outside. I can hear someone outside. This coffee smells really good. This coffee smells really good. We should leave before it gets late. We should leave before it gets late. I did not expect that answer. I did not expect that answer. The music sounds very relaxing. The music sounds very relaxing. She carefully opened the box. She carefully opened the box. I think something changed today. I think something changed today. Please speak a little louder. Please speak a little louder. The road looks empty right now. The road looks empty right now. I was waiting near the window. I was waiting near the window. That color looks perfect on you. That color looks perfect on you. We still have enough time. We still have enough time. I heard a strange noise upstairs. I heard a strange noise upstairs. The train arrived earlier today. The train arrived earlier today. Everybody was laughing together. Everybody was laughing together. I need to finish this quickly. I need to finish this quickly. The room feels much warmer now. The room feels much warmer now. She looked tired after work. She looked tired after work. Can we talk about this later? Can we talk about this later? I really like this atmosphere. I really like this atmosphere. Someone left their bag here. Someone left their bag here. The phone kept ringing loudly. The phone kept ringing loudly. I noticed something unusual today. I noticed something unusual today. Please wait near the entrance. Please wait near the entrance. You should have told me earlier. You should have told me earlier. I cannot believe how fast that happened. I cannot believe how fast that happened. Someone must have taken the wrong file. Someone must have taken the wrong file. That explanation was clearer than before. That explanation was clearer than before. I was about to call you yesterday. I was about to call you yesterday. The situation became more complicated suddenly. The situation became more complicated suddenly. She hardly noticed the difference. She hardly noticed the difference. I would rather stay here for a while. I would rather stay here for a while. The discussion was getting a little intense. The discussion was getting a little intense. Nobody seemed interested in the proposal. Nobody seemed interested in the proposal. He could barely keep his eyes open. He could barely keep his eyes open. Something about that story feels strange. Something about that story feels strange. We might need another solution for this. We might need another solution for this. The manager unexpectedly changed the schedule. The manager unexpectedly changed the schedule. I honestly did not see that coming. I honestly did not see that coming. They were completely unaware of the problem. They were completely unaware of the problem. The atmosphere became awkward for a second. The atmosphere became awkward for a second. I should probably double check everything. I should probably double check everything. That decision created unnecessary confusion. That decision created unnecessary confusion. She confidently answered every question. She confidently answered every question. The message was not as simple as it looked. it. The message was not as simple as it looked. I almost missed an important detail there. I almost missed an important detail there. Everything happened much faster than expected. Everything happened much faster than expected. The audience remained completely silent. The audience remained completely silent. He reacted differently than I imagined. He reacted differently than I imagined. I was trying to understand the situation. I was trying to understand the situation. Nobody wanted to interrupt the conversation. Nobody wanted to interrupt the conversation. That answer sounded surprisingly confident. That answer sounded surprisingly confident. The elevator suddenly stopped moving. The elevator suddenly stopped moving. I cannot ignore that issue anymore. I cannot ignore that issue anymore. She quietly walked across the hallway. She quietly walked across the hallway. The meeting lasted longer than usual. The meeting lasted longer than usual. I was not entirely sure about it. I was not entirely sure about it. That painting looks incredibly realistic. That painting looks incredibly realistic. Someone accidentally deleted the document. Someone accidentally deleted the document. The conversation slowly became more personal. The conversation slowly became more personal. He carefully avoided answering the question. He carefully avoided answering the question. I did not expect such a quick response. I did not expect such a quick response. Everything appears normal from the outside. Everything appears normal from the outside. She suddenly changed her opinion about it. She suddenly changed her opinion about it. The restaurant was unusually crowded tonight. The restaurant was unusually crowded tonight. I cannot remember where I placed it. I cannot remember where I placed it. That moment felt strangely familiar. That moment felt strangely familiar. They eventually reached an agreement. They eventually reached an agreement. The noise outside became extremely distracting. The noise outside became extremely distracting. I probably misunderstood what he meant. I probably misunderstood what he meant. She politely refused the invitation. She politely refused the invitation. The announcement created immediate excitement. The announcement created immediate excitement. I was completely focused on the discussion. I was completely focused on the discussion. Something unexpected is definitely happening here. Something unexpected is definitely happening here. I was not prepared for that question. I was not prepared for that question. The entire room suddenly became quieter. The entire room suddenly became quieter. You seem unusually calm today. You seem unusually calm today. I nearly forgot what I wanted to say. I nearly forgot what I wanted to say. That detail makes a huge difference. Nobody expected such an honest response. Nobody expected such an honest response. The traffic was worse than yesterday. The traffic was worse than yesterday. I cannot concentrate with all this noise. I cannot concentrate with all this noise. She looked genuinely surprised by the news. She looked genuinely surprised by the news. The presentation started later than planned. The presentation started later than planned. I have been thinking about that lately. I have been thinking about that lately. Everything changed within a few minutes. Everything changed within a few minutes. He sounded completely different on the phone. He sounded completely different on the phone. That comment made everyone uncomfortable. That comment made everyone uncomfortable. I should have paid more attention earlier. I should have paid more attention earlier. The restaurant feels much quieter now. The restaurant feels much quieter now. Someone left the window open upstairs. Someone left the window open upstairs. I was beginning to feel a little nervous. I was beginning to feel a little nervous. That explanation does not sound convincing. That explanation does not sound convincing. The conversation became more interesting afterward. The conversation became more interesting afterward. I could not hear the last part clearly. I could not hear the last part clearly. Everybody reacted in a different way. Everybody reacted in a different way. The lights were still on downstairs. The lights were still on downstairs. I almost laughed at the wrong moment. I almost laughed at the wrong moment. That decision affected everyone involved. That decision affected everyone involved. She avoided eye contact during the meeting. She avoided eye contact during the meeting. The weather suddenly became colder outside. The weather suddenly became colder outside. I was expecting a completely different answer. I was expecting a completely different answer. Nobody could explain the situation properly. Nobody could explain the situation properly. The music in here feels relaxing. The music in here feels relaxing. I accidentally sent the wrong message. I accidentally sent the wrong message. That topic always creates long discussions. That topic always creates long discussions. He slowly walked toward the entrance. He slowly walked toward the entrance. Everything appears more organized now. Everything appears more organized now. I cannot deal with this right now. I cannot deal with this right now. The audience seemed deeply interested. The audience seemed deeply interested. Someone was quietly standing near the door. Someone was quietly standing near the door. That response sounded slightly sarcastic. That response sounded slightly sarcastic. I noticed a few mistakes immediately. I noticed a few mistakes immediately. The atmosphere inside felt unusually tense. The atmosphere inside felt unusually tense. She was clearly trying to avoid him. She was clearly trying to avoid him. The discussion continued for several hours. The discussion continued for several hours. I never expected such a dramatic reaction. I never expected such a dramatic reaction. The elevator made a strange sound. The elevator made a strange sound. That situation could become more serious. That situation could become more serious. He suddenly stopped in the middle of speaking. He suddenly stopped in the middle of speaking. I completely misunderstood the instructions earlier. I completely misunderstood the instructions earlier. The room looked different after the changes. The room looked different after the changes. Someone quietly mentioned your name earlier. Someone quietly mentioned your name earlier. That explanation sounds far more reasonable. That explanation sounds far more reasonable. Despite the unexpected delay, they managed to complete everything on time. Despite the unexpected delay, they managed to complete everything on time. I genuinely underestimated how complicated that situation would become. I genuinely underestimated how complicated that situation would become. The discussion could have been more productive if everyone had remained calm. The discussion could have been more productive if everyone had remained calm. She appeared remarkably confident. Considering how much pressure she was under, she appeared remarkably confident. Considering how much pressure she was under, nobody anticipated the announcement until the very last moment. Nobody anticipated the announcement until the very last moment. The atmosphere gradually became more uncomfortable as the conversation continued. The atmosphere gradually became more uncomfortable as the conversation continued. I would not have reacted that way. Under normal circumstances, I would not have reacted that way. Under normal circumstances, the proposal sounded convincing at first. However, several details were missing. The proposal sounded convincing at first. However, several details were missing. He reluctantly admitted that the original plan had failed. He reluctantly admitted that the original plan had failed. The audience remained unusually attentive throughout the entire presentation. The audience remained unusually attentive throughout the entire presentation. She could barely conceal her frustration during the meeting. She could barely conceal her frustration. During the meeting, the situation escalated far more quickly than anyone had predicted. The situation escalated far more quickly than anyone had predicted. I occasionally wonder whether we made the correct decision. I occasionally wonder whether we made the correct decision. The explanation sounded unnecessarily complicated for such a simple issue. The explanation sounded unnecessarily complicated for such a simple issue. He deliberately avoided discussing the matter in front of everyone. He deliberately avoided discussing the matter in front of everyone. The entire process became significantly easier after the new system was introduced. The entire process became significantly easier after the new system was introduced. I had absolutely no intention of creating additional problems. I had absolutely no intention of creating additional problems. The report contained several inaccuracies, which immediately raised concerns. The report contained several inaccuracies, which immediately raised concerns. She responded far more professionally than I expected. She responded far more professionally than I expected. Nobody seemed particularly surprised by the final outcome. Nobody seemed particularly surprised by the final outcome. The conversation abruptly shifted toward a completely different topic. The conversation abruptly shifted toward a completely different topic. I was not entirely convinced by his explanation. I was not entirely convinced by his explanation. The conference room became noticeably quieter after the manager entered. The conference room became noticeably quieter after the manager entered. He appeared slightly irritated by the repeated interruptions. He appeared slightly irritated by the repeated interruptions. The unexpected response completely changed the direction of the discussion. The unexpected response completely changed the direction of the discussion. I would strongly recommend reconsidering that particular decision. I would strongly recommend reconsidering that particular decision. The project was progressing smoothly until several technical issues appeared. The project was progressing smoothly until several several technical issues appeared. She remained surprisingly patient throughout the entire situation. The phone battery is almost dead. The phone battery is almost dead. I was waiting near the front desk. I was waiting near the front desk. That joke was actually pretty funny. That joke was actually pretty funny. Someone knocked on the door twice. Someone knocked on the door twice. The movie ended much later than expected. The movie ended much later than expected. I cannot find my glasses anywhere. I cannot find my glasses anywhere. The cafe was surprisingly empty today. The cafe was surprisingly empty today. She looked busy the entire afternoon. She looked busy the entire afternoon. I almost forgot to bring my notebook. I almost forgot to bring my notebook. The conversation suddenly became very quiet. The conversation suddenly became very quiet. He sounded tired during the call. He sounded tired during the call. That bag looks heavier than mine. That bag looks heavier than mine. I was standing right behind you. I was standing right behind you. The lights outside look beautiful tonight. The lights outside look beautiful tonight. Someone left their jacket on the chair. Someone left their jacket on the chair. I need to organize these papers first. I need to organize these papers first. The weather feels cooler this evening. The weather feels cooler this evening. She carefully checked every message. She carefully checked every message. The train station was completely crowded. The train station was completely crowded. I was not expecting such good news. I was not expecting such good news. That sound came from upstairs. That sound came from upstairs. The food smells amazing from here. The food smells amazing from here. He forgot where he parked the car. He forgot where he parked the car. I noticed something strange on the screen. I noticed something strange on the screen. The line moved very slowly today. The line moved very slowly today. She quietly closed the office door. She quietly closed the office door. I cannot hear you clearly right now. I cannot hear you clearly right now. That decision made everyone confused. That decision made everyone confused. The bus arrived earlier than usual. The bus arrived earlier than usual. I accidentally dropped my phone outside. I accidentally dropped my phone outside. The room feels warmer than before. The room feels warmer than before. Someone was laughing in the hallway. Someone was laughing in the hallway. I need a few more minutes. I need a few more minutes. The music in this place sounds relaxing. The music in this place sounds relaxing. He was looking through old photos. He was looking through old photos. That explanation sounds much simpler now. That explanation sounds much simpler now. I was trying to remember her name. I was trying to remember her name. The traffic outside looks terrible today. The traffic outside looks terrible today. She opened the window very slowly. She opened the window very slowly. I almost missed the last train. I almost missed the last train. That message does not make sense. That message does not make sense. The elevator stopped on the wrong floor. The elevator stopped on the wrong floor. I was sitting near the entrance. I was sitting near the entrance. Someone forgot to turn off the lights. Someone forgot to turn off the lights. The store was already closed. The store was already closed. I cannot decide which one looks better. I cannot decide which one looks better. The meeting started without any warning. The meeting started without any warning. She looked nervous before speaking. She looked nervous before speaking. I heard footsteps behind me earlier. I heard footsteps behind me earlier. That chair feels more comfortable than this one. That chair feels more comfortable than this one.